The time to hesitate is through. Lofi Poli Sci coming at you. Michael Pickering here, bringing you another Lo-Fi Global mix with some of that goodness. Yes, indeed. You know how we do it. It's a Friday, people. Thank goodness. Straight to it, the news, fresh off that press. Out to Turkey and Saudi Arabia we go. And what may very well be a final update, a conclusion to a story that goes back to 2018. You see, in 2018, a Saudi Arabian by the name of Jamal Khashoggi, who was a U.S. resident and journalist, went to Turkey to renew his Saudi Arabian passport at the Saudi Arabian embassy in Turkey. He walked into the embassy and was never seen again. While the intelligence community of the United States pointed to the highest levels of the Saudi Arabian government, and even the Crown Prince, who is the de facto leader of the country, Saudi Arabia held their own trial and said, they dealt with the matter. It's done. It's over with. We're rogue agents. Now, Turkey and their President Erdogan, they weren't convinced, and they were going to have their own trial, and they started up that trial. And the people they were going to put on trial were in Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia refused to extradite them. But recently, Saudi Arabia had said, hey, Turkey, why don't you just move the trial over to Saudi Arabia? And everyone thought this was just bullshit. Like, no way this is going to happen. Turkey agreed. And President Erdogan is on his way, or already there, in Saudi Arabia, and the trial's getting moved to Saudi Arabia. Lo-Fi listeners, this will likely be the end of the search for justice for Jamal Khashoggi. This is getting swept under the rug. Any trial that does take place in Saudi Arabia, well, you already know. We'll let you know if we hear anything else, but we don't expect too much. Now to the internet news, because you know there's always stuff going on online. A while back, we talked about how Google, Twitter, and all kinds of tech companies regularly get fined by the Russian government, for this or for that, violating terms in Russian laws, but usually it's not too big a fine. Like the last one was around $50,000 to $60,000. Not that big, especially if you're a tech company, right? Well, now, this time, Russian government has gone after Google because YouTube censored some Russian news on its platform. Go figure that. And this time, the Russian government went after Google to the tune of $7 million. $7 million? I wonder what's behind this increase of price, huh? Who knows? Write in, people. I'm curious your thoughts. Now, a month ago, we talked about how during one weekend in El Salvador, there were as many murders in one weekend as there were in the entire month before, all due to gang violence. And because of that, the president of El Salvador, with the backing of Congress, enacted a state of emergency in the country and extended that state of emergency as well for another 30 days. Now it's been going on for just over a month. The El Salvadoran government has just announced that in that time, they have arrested more than 17,000 people in what is assumed to be gang-related things. 17,000. More than 17,000 people in 1 month arrested. Shit, y'all. I don't even know what to say about this. You tell me. Write in again on this one. Now, off to Myanmar we go, where former democratically elected leader Aung San Suu Kyi, who was arrested last year in 2021 on February 1st, during that military coup we do still talk about, was just convicted of yet another fabricated charge of corruption by the military junta. And her convictions and sentencings are really starting to stack up right now. They're about 10 to 15 years and counting. And it's been a year and 3 months that the military has been in power, and she has been in prison that entire time. Or house arrest, depending on which version of their story you want to believe. But over a year and 3 months. And there are still more trials going on for her. Originally the military, they promised they'd be gone in about a year and switch back to the democracy after, they do some electoral redos. But then it shifted to the end of 22 this year. And really, who knows when the military is going to give up power? And what's the world doing about all of this, you may be asking, ? Well, you already know. Now to some big international economy news. I know all you international econ junkies out there got to get your fix on. We got you covered, all right? The Central African Republic. Their government has just announced that Bitcoin is now official legal tender in the country. And that makes 2 countries now. El Salvador first last year, and now Central African Republic. This is big, people. Change starts like this. Just a couple of countries at a time. And the next thing you know, digital currency becomes common currency for countries and their government and for international exchanges. And as much pushback as there is against this from your larger developed countries, there's nothing they can really do to stop other countries from using Bitcoin within their borders. And write in again on this one too, people. I'm curious your thoughts. Is this really the beginning of a larger trend in the international economy where more and more countries will begin the regular use of digital currency? I'm curious your thoughts. Now, let's switch gears to a little bit of that goodness or weirdness as with this next headline from NPR. We're going to do a little bit of a game called What You Talking About, NPR? The headline: Planetary scientists are excited about Uranus. I repeat, planetary scientists are excited about Uranus. Come on, NPR, you're so funny. Not so funny, because we all know you talking about our ass. You just want to be all sneaky scientific. We got you. Now, in Wizard of Oz news, because apparently, after almost 100 years, people are still talking fashion from a damn movie that was made in 1939. Dorothy's blue dress, right? That once was lost, but now it's found. And that bitch is going on sale because of course, someone wants to buy that, so they're going to put it up for auction. But who knows why? Why would you buy a 100-year-old dress? I don't know. But what you do know is people buy weirder shit all the time, so you ain't surprised. And we all know Chile is rewriting their constitution, one of my favorite topics of the year, yes indeed. But now, the government of Peru is pushing an effort to call for a national referendum to also rewrite their constitution. They're saying if Chile can do it and can make their country better, then so can we. And there you go, Peru. I see you all day long. Get down, get it on. Oh, yeah. This could be big. People, what is this? Could this be the beginning of a new wave of democratization by millennial design? Right in, I'm curious your thoughts. And attention, do not adjust your dial. The journal Nature has just released a study saying that 1 in 5 reptiles face possible extinction. Help the effort, people. Spread the word. Save the reptiles, which include our most lovable turtles. And help the effort. Save the internet, because Elon Musk just bought Twitter for $44 billion. Damn! $44 billion. Let me give you some perspective on that by Lo-Fi listeners. Looking at 2020 World Bank GDP data, you already know where we're going. Over half of the countries of the world had lower gross domestic products for the entire year than 44 billion. That's about 100 countries. What, don't believe me? Just listen. In decreasing order, Paraguay at 41 billion in 2020 for GDP, then dropping straight down. Bolivia, Latvia, Estonia, Zimbabwe, Nepal, Brunei, Sudan, El Salvador, Honduras, Papua New Guinea, Senegal, Yemen, Cambodia, Iceland, Cyprus, Zimbabwe, Trinidad and Tobago, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Gabon, Guinea, Georgia, Haiti, Afghanistan, Burkina Faso, Mali at 19 billion, still decreasing. Botswana, Benin, Mongolia, Mozambique, Albania, Laos, Malta, Equatorial Guinea, the Republic of Congo, North Korea, Nicaragua, Jamaica, Niger, Syria, Madagascar, North Macedonia, Armenia, Moldova, Guyana, Namibia, Chad, the Bahamas, Rwanda, Malawi, Mauritius, Kosovo at $9 billion. Still going down in 2020, all right? Mauritania, Kyrgyzstan, Togo, and that's only half the list. Somalia, Tajikistan, Bermuda, Liechtenstein, Monaco, Montenegro, South Sudan, Barbados, Maldives, Fiji, Eswatini, Sierra Leone, Djibouti, Liberia, Burundi, Andorra, Aruba, Suriname, Bhutan, Central African Republic, Eritrea, Lesotho, Gambia, St. Lucia, Cape Verde, Belize, East Timor, Zanzibar, Guinea-Bissau, Antigua and Barbuda, Comoros, Grenadines, St. Kitts and Nevis, Vanuatu, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dominica, Tonga, Sao Tome and Principe, Micronesia, Marshall Islands, Palau, Kiribati, Nauru, Tuvalu. Over half the countries of the world right there. And each one of them made less money in 2020, the entire country and everyone in it, in an entire year, than the $44 billion that Elon Musk just bought Twitter for. Take from that what you will. Right in, people. Now, we're going to close out a little bit different today. Tomorrow we got our next issue of Letters coming out, so I thought it's time to share mine from last issue with you. Warning! The word asshole is used frequently beyond this point, as well as just there. My title? The World in Its State. I find myself conflicted on the phrasing of this title. One part of me wishes to write to you of the world and its states, though another part wishes to tell you of the world and its state. But then I think, what would you prefer I write on? Some of you I know well enough to say you would probably pick both, and while such a choice would suit me, I remember I write these words to you, not for you, not as in an attempt to anticipate what you wish to read and thus provide that in which you wish for. No, I write these words to you knowing you will come to understand my choice, even if that means you find it unagreeable, just as you may find using a word that truly is not a word. We possess, if we may even use that word, but one world. There exist about 200 countries in that one world, and I use the word about because who am I to say what makes a country and what does not? Western Sahara, Taiwan, Somaliland, Transnistria, Palestine, to name but a few of those sometimes called contested states. Never before in the known human history have so many countries existed, with such finite borders, theoretically governed by a notion such as sovereignty, a true global system of states. The neo-realist pushes back. The state of the world remains in anarchy, thus no system exists, and each country acts only in their own self-interest. The neoliberal replies, international institutions have paved the way for more global cooperation than ever before. Sovereignty and mutual beneficial actions exist. Thus a system there is. The Marxist chimes in. Only the powerful have sovereignty, and they prey upon the rest in a cycle of dependency and exploitation. Thus, this system we want not. The constructivist within creeps out to say, the world is what we make it. Thus, this system, change it we can. Bullshit. I call bullshit. The world and its states? Bullshit. I reject the idea that imaginary lines on a map drawn by arbitrarily privileged assholes means anything but bullshit. I put the political scientist to rest and draw upon the inner poet of the true we that we be. I love, full stop. I am not bound by binary belligerents brought forth from fallen fictitious phallic measuring monstrosities mimicking miracle-making gods. I think not. I am not bound by lines. I am not bound by creed. I am not bound by language. Love removes my bondage. I am not bound by books. I am not bound by coin. I am not bound by ideology. Love removes my bondage. For all the ways they find to divide us, I break every last one of those bounds. And I love. I have no bounds. We put the poet to rest and bring back the political scientist to conclude this conversation. All of the above is not to say that I do not find the lines on a map important. Whether we like how they got there or not, Real-world events are taking place because of those lines. Regardless of the absurdity of thinking people hundreds of years ago knew what in the hell they were doing when they drew those lines, today we have to deal with the real. The ramifications of those choices made by, put bluntly, assholes. The world and its states are in flux. This is a constant. We as human beings are concerned. This is a constant. And we as human beings are also, and constantly, human beings. Put simply, I am conflicted on the world and its states. The political science and the poet go back and forth in me. They are both restless. I am restless. We are restless. And we are conflicted. We know what we want, but do not see a path to get there. Though as of this moment, I've made my choice. Will you make yours? The world and its states await us. What will you do?